Hellblade. That should really be spelled with one L rather than two. It refers to the Norse Helheim, not the flames and demons idea of hell, although obviously the two concepts are related historically. So here's the gate once again, and it will not open until I've faced Surt, god of fire. I did a little research and it looks like there is no standard myth figure Valraven. A Valraven is a mythical monster in Norse mythology, or Danish specifically.
Surt, the fire giant, has answered. He comes from a land older than mankind, and the Northmen call upon his flaming sword to raze their enemies to the ground.
Dang.
Find him, Senua, and spill his blood.
What I think is going on there is, I don't think this is the game just...
She found the wretched old fool on her way back from
Voices.
the wilds. An outcast. Was badly burnt all over.
Truth.
She took pity on him, for he was not long for this world. Like her, who spoke of his own darkness. The Northmen.
Oh, a face. So just before I have a look at that face of Senua's mother in the waterfall, what I think is going on is that Senua's understanding of Norse mythology actually comes from Druth, this guy who was kidnapped by Vikings at some point and then eventually made his way back to Orkney. And it's not necessarily going to be the exact idea that an actual Norse warrior would have of their own myths and legends. It's third hand. So this idea of, a Valraven as a monstrous form of a raven that takes on supernatural powers versus Valraven as a specific entity who's like with powers over illusions. I think that's where that kind of thing is coming from. And to my mind, that kind of idea is compounded by... It's not clear to me yet whether Druth and the old fool that the voices refer to are the same person. It's like Senua refers to Druth in a really positive way and sees him as a kindred spirit and someone who saved her life. The voices talk about this outcast old fool who was found on the way back from the wilds, life not in need of saving. But I think they might be the same person. It's unclear.
Senua, we each walk these lands gazing towards different horizons, some of us further than others. Your father cannot see what you see, but there is nothing wrong with seeing the world the way you do.
Senua's mother, the priestess, who probably had the same kind of mental situation going on, although she speaks about it positively and thinks that visions is a gift rather than hallucinations is a danger, but in Senua's memories of her. But at the same time, we were told a little earlier that the darkness took Senua's mother at some point, so maybe it was not an entirely positive thing in her life either. Got to find a fire giant anyway. Questions of reality versus myth aside. That looks like a whole bunch of flammable wood. Then again, most of the stuff in this place is. Oh, okay. Gotta remember the combat system once again. Okay. Parries. Parries were a thing. A good thing to do.
Behind you! Behind you!
Oh. Ah, they lied! Oh my god. you gotta pay attention to the behind you calls, because
Don't give up! Don't give up!
there really is someone behind you a lot of the time. Not always. The voices actually say a number of useful things in combat. The game straight up does not have a user interface. Or no HUD, I guess would be the way to put it. And the voices... So the voices, when they say finish it, they mean literally the enemy is on low hit points, for example. It's useful, but also confusing and potentially misleading. Like a lot of things in the game.
Can't do it. Behind you. Watch out! Better fight.
I've got to try the other move. Ah, it's a kick. Okay, so that's the button I haven't actually been using until now. Oh, I see. It doesn't hurt people, but it kind of stuns them for a moment. Whoops.
You won!
Yay.
Take him down! Take him down! Get down! She's ready.
Ow.
Remember your training.
The way that the number of enemies just sort of shifts and they just kind of appear can be disconcerting. Combos. There are certain sets of moves which work well on all these standard enemies, but didn't work on the boss Raven.
You're close. He finished him. Watch out!
I gotta use the focus thing for a while. I'm low on hit points. Or equivalent. Not that the game explicitly has hit points per se, but it definitely has, you get more wounded over time if you hit lots of times in succession. Alright, so let's examine this door. Runes, unsurprisingly. There's two of them.
I can still smell it. The sweet, sickly stench of burning human flesh. And I still hear their cries carried in the wind. You hear them too, Senua?
Yes, I heard their screams, and I still hear them now.
Oh dear. These must be victims of the Viking invaders. One of these kind of crucifix-like things could serve to match one of these runes, unfortunately.
Are they screaming?
Yeah. Is there one of them where the corpse's head is higher up? Perhaps if I go and stand in a different vantage point. The voices are whispering about the runes being important. I knew that. Oh, hello. There we go. That's one of them. The other one is just a matter of angles, I think. Well, just a matter of angles and death.
Are they screaming?
If I stand at the base of one of the slaughtered people, maybe. Does that fit? Not quite. Follow the screams. It doesn't sound appealing. It's probably not meant to. No.
Are they screaming?
It seems right, but it's clearly not. What about if I get this tree there? No, the angle's wrong. Or the tree overlaying this cross? I keep calling it a cross because I'm thinking of crucifixes, but it's not actually a cross, it's a fork. So what angle can I get on one of these things? Do I need to cross back over this bridge over here? I doubt it. No, I won't be able to see the forks at all from over there. Maybe I should look for more positions where I can kind of overlay a tree on one of them. Oh, hello. Here's a straight stick. But it's too small. Tree. Aha! There it is. At least I know how to do this now.
The path to Helheim is sealed to the living. You already walk amongst the dead. Look towards the gate, and you will see that it has opened.
I hope that's just metaphorical. Look towards the gate and you will see that it's opened, he says, but it hasn't. I'm not sure what's going on here. Is there anything else I have to do? Previously, once I've kind of dispelled the runes from a door like this, I've been able to push it open. But in this case, I don't seem to be able to just do that. I'm kind of pressing buttons. Specifically what I thought was the interact button, and that's not working. Let me poke around a little more. I don't think I fully explored this area at the top of the hill, although perhaps it was just there to give me a runic perspective. These sections remind me a little of The Witness. Oh, burned corpses, not very nice. Nothing up here. I definitely feel that I'm missing something now. Senua should just be able to proceed at this point. These lit braziers, were they burning before? I don't know. Is there any kind of pattern up there? What the heck do I have to do? Pressing a button loudly. Focusing doesn't help. Running at the door doesn't help. Huh. And I suppose I've encountered a glitch or something, have I? The thing is, previously when I've been stuck in the game, it's because of something I haven't realised that I had to do. So that's still my first guess as to what's going on here. Was there another door somewhere? Is the face... So if we take Druth's words just now literally, he said that the gate to Helheim would be open, as in the main gate? Surely not, I haven't encountered or defeated Cert, but we'll go and take a look. Even though this seems wrong. Yeah, this door doesn't look any different to how it appeared before. Not that easy. Alright, I clearly missed something in Cert's realm. So let's return there. So, let's recap what happened. I found a door with 2 runes on it. I focused on it and kept the image of the runes in Senua's head. I matched each of those runes. to a wooden construction environment. Specifically stakes on which people have been, like, killed as part of a raid or ritually slaughtered or something. And then I was told the door would be open. What did he actually say? Look toward the door and it will open. So I'm focusing on it now. Hasn't helped. I'm pressing the actual open door button. It just doesn't affect anything. I'm stumped. And not just in the sense that I'm surrounded by tree stumps. I'm confused and baffled. I'm even a little worried because this does feel a little like a bug in the game. What the? There's a bit of wood popping into and out of existence there as I move back and forth. Not sure that's meant to be happening. Although after the time in Valreven's realm, who knows? What the heck? This can't be very compelling watching. Hey, it's conveying the experience of playing the game, alternating between these very slow-paced, sometimes confusing or even buggy puzzles, the moderately deep but terrifying because of how high the stakes are combat, which is more of a palate cleanser than anything, and the unfortunate story of tragedy. But I do get stuck a few times in the game. It's not the first time it's happened, and you are experiencing that as I experience it. Feels like I'm stuck is how I experience it. I'm a minute away here from taking a break to, say, load and save the game, not in that order. See if that changes anything. In case this really is a bug. Yep, alright, let's do it. Alright, I'm back. I actually googled on the internet using google.com whether this might be a bug in the game, and it appears that it is. Other people have had a similar problem with this area of the game, being unable to pass this door at this point. It should just open using the interact button. What I've seen from some other people, there we go. Apparently you have to step back about a meter from the door and Senua is then able to open it. Well, that sucked.
When they first came to my lands, I knew enough of their tongue to beg for mercy, and they took me as a slave. I wish now that they had slaughtered me like the others. I rode their storm of fire, death, and slavery to many lands. This darkness you speak of, I know it well.
And I'm still here to fight it.
Interesting that Senua and Druth kind of bonded over his traumatic experiences and her traumatic perceptions of the world. They both see it as a darkness and as something you can use as a power, but which is a constant danger to you. Ah, now that's the kind of thing I was expecting to see in the room with the fire giant. Fire. Let's go take a look. Big round door. This doesn't look like the same kind of door. Shield guy. So quick attacks let you break the shield. Oh! Also, using the so-called melee attack, the kick button, turns out to have been a good way to break the shield. Oh. I heard it, but I wasn't able to react well enough.
He's gone!
Yeah, basically jumping backwards when you hear a behind you thing, or forwards is not a good way to evade, but left or right movements are generally better.
Watch out!
Oh dear. At least this guy doesn't have a shield. Oh shit, there's two of them again. They really just kind of turn up.
She will die. You will die.
No, 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 no.
Get up quickly. She's injured. She can still do it.
Very alarming. I like, ever since learning about the dark rot and the kind of permadeath that the game has, I don't think I have actually died once, but I'm constantly aware that it could happen, and that I don't know how many times you can die before it's permanent, but I don't want to find out. It really adds something to the tenseness of a combat situation.
Defend yourself.
Man, this is a cool sword she's got. What is it, a hand and a half sword or something? You've got to be pretty strong to use something like that. Chop, chop, chop. The focus mode thing is really strong, but you've got to really build it up quite a lot of hits and stuff to use it. I think sometimes if you get a parry like that, it immediately gives you like a whole chunk of focus, or sometimes puts you directly into the focus mode for free. So those are really good. I didn't actually consciously activate focus there, but I tried to parry, which seems to have done the same thing. Alright, so I can find a rune thing here. It looks like the symbol of Surt himself.
When you see a fire gate of Surt, know that only a sacrifice will stoke the fires of Muspel, and let the dead walk through.
Muspel as in Muspelheim?
Find the fire, Senua, to follow the path to Surt.
No. If you look at Senua, she's always watching things. I think if you rotate the camera, she's very focused on the environment. Or sometimes on bits of which other people can't see. Did I come through there, or did I come through here? I don't think I've been through here before. Fire. Oh dear. A sacrifice to pass through the fire gate. What does this constitute? What is involved? Shit, okay. I can do running.
Hell will not give you the answers you want. But you mustn't look away from the horrors it does offer. Because you cannot overcome suffering if you refuse to look at it.
Yikes.
What's happening? Is the fire gone? Where's it gone? The fire's disappeared. It was everywhere. Maybe it was an image. The pyre. Surt is through there.
He's waiting for her. You can't get through. How will she get through?
She'll need to
I
find
don't know how to get through. The voices are so taunting.
Find your own path.
There's always another way.
There's always a way.
Find your own way.
You just have to find it. He's waiting for you. It was never going to be that easy. He's waiting. Surt
Is waiting for you.
Find him.
The pyre.
Alright. Find more pyres. I can do that. A runestone.
The Northmen tell this story. Before the Earth was created, there was a world called Muspel. Because it was in the south, it was bright and hot, flaming, burning. Sparks that flew out from Muspel became the stars. Other sparks melted ice in the frozen world of Niflheim, creating the body of the first giant, Ymir. Muspel is one of the 9 fire giants. People from elsewhere cannot endure a journey there.
I was just returning closer to the runestone because I'd moved so far away that I couldn't hear it anymore. So the idea is that the land of the fire giants predated the mortal world. That's cool. Alright, so
Fire, Senua.
I think I get the idea now.
To Surt.
Find where the fire is from the gate, then return from the fire to the gate while everything is burning, so you've got to have a good handle on how to do it.
Find it. She'll never make her way back.
She needs to remember the way back.
What happens when she finds it?
Everything will burn.
Concentrate on where you're going. She needs to remember the path.
Everything will burn, then how will she find the way back?
She won't. She won't be able to tell.
Can I jump off there? Trying to find an easy way back through what will soon be a burning wood. More rooms.
The Northmen say that the defender of Muspel is called Surt, the foremost of the fire giants. His name means the Black One, because he is like something burnt. The Northmen believe that he sits at the border of Muspel with his flaming sword, and at the end of the world he will leave his post. He will travel to Asgard and Midgard, waging war against all the gods. He will be victorious, and then burn the whole world with fire.
That's bleak. Just how many myths about the end of the world do these people have? Here's the way up. And here's what I hoped would be a faster way down, but it is not. Unless it is still possible.
The Northmen made fire sacrifices, burning slaves like me to reveal the path to Surt. I searched for meaning in their suffering, in their eyes, but they just screamed like helpless pigs.
That's where I want to go, that gate at the end of the woods. I don't think there's a shortcut to it. Although, maybe there is one after all. Can I? Yes, okay. Good. Bit of a waste of time, but having discerned that may well help me a great deal. Because imagine trying to go all the way around here and cross over that little wooden plank and so on, which might well be burning by then. So I think that's what you got to do in these sections. It just comes down to figuring out the path from the fire to the gate, and if you can't open a door repeatedly, Google it. It might not be your fault. Yeah, not too happy about that glitch, but I will forgive it. Right. I know the way to go, if I can still navigate it in a burning world. That looked like a very specific vision of fire. The ball is closing in. Ow.
Do your gods answer your prayers, Senua? I asked the gods for mercy, all of them, even theirs. None answered. In the end, I set myself free. Defy the gods, Senua. Find your own path, like I find mine.
My gods abandoned me. I am alone.
Okay. Alone is not a great thing to be in this context, but she's dealing with it. Although the rot, not good. What is that? Some kind of necrosis? I guess in the concept of the myth, it's a curse, but I wonder if it has some kind of more real-world meaning as well. Another fire door. I think I'll put this one off. Been recording for a while. See you soon to be burnt.